Rain poured heavily that morning. A thin teenage boy stood at the gate of an expensive private school. His shirt was clean, but faded. His shoes worn out, almost tearing. In his hand, a brown envelope. Inside it, his dream. He took a deep breath and stepped forward. The security guard blocked him immediately. "Where do you think you're going?" I came for the scholarship interview," the boy said softly. The guard looked him up and down, then laughed. "You?" A few students passing by slowed down. Whispers started. "He looks lost." "Wrong school, bro." The boy swallowed hard. "I have my documents." He tried to hand over the envelope, but the guard didn't even take it. "This school is not for people like you." Silence. The words hit deeper than the rain. A well-dressed parent standing nearby shook her head. "These scholarship people waste our time." The boy's fingers tightened around the envelope. Still, he didn't move. "Please," he said quietly. "This is my only chance." Just then, a man in a suit walked out of the building. Vice principal. He glanced at the scene. "What's going on here?" The guard smirked. "Sir, this boy claims he's here for scholarship." The man looked at him briefly. Cold, dismissive. "Interview slots are full." "But sir," the boy began, "you should have applied earlier." "I did," he said quickly. "I got an email." The man raised his hand. "That's enough." He turned away, then paused, and said something that would stay with the boy forever. "Next time, try a school within your level." Silence. The gate slowly closed right in front of him. The boy stood there, rain soaking his clothes, his dream slipping through his fingers. Across the street, a cleaner who had been watching shook her head sadly. The boy looked down at his envelope, then slowly turned away. But as he walked, his eyes changed, not broken, not defeated, just quiet, determined. And under his breath he whispered. One day, he looked back at the school. "I'll come back." That boy's name was Daniel, and life didn't get easier. He worked after school, washing cars, carrying goods, running errands. At night, under dim streetlights, he studied old textbooks, borrowed notes, pages missing. But he didn't stop. Sometimes he slept hungry. Sometimes he failed. But every time he remembered that gate, that voice, "This school is not for people like you," it fueled him. Years passed. Daniel couldn't afford university, so he learned differently. Online courses, free tutorials, late nights. While others slept, Daniel built skills, discipline, vision. One day, he created something small, a simple digital solution. No one noticed. At first, then one person did. Then 5, then 50, then thousands. Daniel didn't celebrate. He just kept going. Years later, Daniel was no longer the boy at the gate. He had built a company. From nothing, people now listened when he spoke. Doors opened, opportunities came, but one thing never left him. That day, that gate, that rejection. One evening, his assistant walked into his office. "Sir, there's a proposal we need to review." Daniel glanced up. "What is it?" "A struggling private school looking for investors." He reached for the file casually, then paused. His eyes narrowed. The name, the same school. Silence filled the room. His assistant noticed the change. "Sir?" Daniel closed the file slowly. "I'll handle this one personally." The school had changed. Not as grand as before. Paint peeling, facilities outdated, enrollment dropping, desperation in the air. Inside the boardroom, the same vice principal sat there, older now, tired, worried. "Investors are coming today," someone whispered. "We need this." The door opened. Daniel walked in. Sharp suit, calm presence. No one recognized him. He sat down quietly. The meeting began. The vice principal spoke first. "We need funding to restore this institution's legacy." Daniel listened, silently. Then he asked one question. "What kind of students do you accept?" The room went still. The vice principal smiled professionally. "We accept excellence." Daniel leaned forward slightly. "And what if excellence doesn't look rich?" Silence. The vice principal hesitated. "Times have changed." Daniel nodded slowly, then stood up, walked toward the window, looked outside. At the gate, the same gate, he turned back, his voice calm, but heavy. "Years ago, I stood outside this gate." The room froze. "I had a scholarship letter." No one moved. "I was told this school wasn't for people like me." The vice principal's face changed. Recognition. Shock. Guilt. Daniel stepped closer. "And today, he placed a document on the table. I'm here to fund this school." Gasps, but with one condition. Silence. "No student will ever be turned away because of how they look." Tears filled the room. The vice principal stood slowly. I remember you." Daniel nodded. "I remember too." A long pause. Then the older man said softly, "I'm sorry." Daniel looked at him, not with anger, but with grace. I forgave you a long time ago." Months later, the school was transformed. New facilities, scholarships opened, opportunity restored. At the gate, a young boy stood, just like Daniel once did, nervous, hopeful. This time, the gate opened. "Welcome," the guard said. No judgment, no rejection. Across the compound, Daniel watched quietly, a small smile on his face. Full circle, not revenge. Restoration. And as he walked away, his voice echoed softly. God doesn't just lift people, He sends them back to lift others. If this story speaks to you, don't ignore it. God sees you, no matter where you are or what you've been through. He hasn't forgotten you. Your story can change. If you want a new beginning, just say this in your heart. Lord, I surrender my life to you. Forgive me, guide me, and make me new. Amen. That's where transformation begins. Drop a heart if you believe God can change your story.